Now, in the past month, we've seen multiple deadly shootings on school campuses. In August, you had the shooting at a Catholic school in Minnesota that killed 2 people, wounded more than a dozen. And just last week, of course, the Charlie Kirk murder and a deadly incident at a high school in Colorado. All of this can lead to collective trauma for students who survived and everyone else watching these acts of violence. So we want to bring in Rachel Archambault now. She's a speech pathologist and mental health advocate who speaks around the country about trauma-informed teaching in schools. It's great to have you with us, Rachel. And we should note that you were at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School during its mass shooting years ago. Can you first just tell us about that experience and how it echoes through your work now?
Absolutely. So I wouldn't have found trauma-informed care without going through the trauma that I experienced. I was 25 years old. I was a second-year teacher, second-year speech pathologist. And what I've seen in the past 7.5 years since then is more and more shootings happen year after year. So not only does it bring me back to my specific trauma from that day, every one that happens after that adds to this collective trauma. And each one that we see on the news or on our phones affects us so much more deeply.
And to that point, I know that for many people who've been through a mass shooting incident, they can have that same panicked reaction if a car explodes, kind of backs up, if a balloon pops, and it almost brings them back to that moment. The traumatic Charlie Kirk shooting video, it was graphic. It spread online quickly. How is witnessing something like that through our mobile device something that can cause PTSD in children? Because I think for some folks, they don't believe it's the same thing if you just witness it on your phone.
Oh, it absolutely is. I mean, seeing that online can bring back your own memories. So I know for me, I was very careful all day to try to avoid it because I knew that it would affect me. And right before bed, it showed up on my phone, unblurred, slowed down. And what happened to me that night is I wasn't having nightmares about that specific video. What it did was the entire night I had memories, flashbacks, videos that I had seen of my own trauma. And that's also what's happening to our students. If they've been through these events before, they may see that video and think of it over and over again, but they also might think of their own previous trauma. And that's where that PTSD aspect comes in, is what they've lived is repeated and repeated. So we definitely need to make sure that we are preventing kids from seeing it, but also addressing it when they do see it. We can't always protect them from seeing something like that.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that that was a triggering event for you and really took you back. So then how can parents and schools help younger people, well, really everybody, but younger people specifically, manage this, get through it?
So if we can't prevent it, like limiting exposure, then we have to begin with safety. If they have already seen it, we can validate what they've seen. We shouldn't minimize their fear, saying, don't worry, it's fine. We can say it makes sense that you feel scared after seeing something so violent, or your feelings are normal. A lot of people would feel this way. You can explain it at a level that is developmentally appropriate for young kids, elementary school. You might think that elementary school kids don't have access to it, but they possibly do. And then teens or tweens, give space for questions, acknowledge what they're feeling, discuss media literacy. Normalize that it's okay to walk away from disturbing content, even if peers are showing it, and then offer coping strategies. We have to make sure that they have tools in their toolbox to make sure that they can cope with this, and not only on their own, but have a trusted adult, whether that's someone at school, a teacher, a social worker, a family counselor, or you, a trusted guardian.
Yeah, you know, young people can be psychologically very resilient, but it's a great idea to, as you suggest, open these conversations, suggest resources that are available, and empower them to filter their own feeds and really curate them so it's something they can enjoy. Rachel Archambault, a really important conversation. Thank you so much for joining us today and talking about this.